So this is a game that came out today. I've been pretty busy and I haven't really been keeping up with the news, but apparently the game is right now in early access, which I can't say I was expecting after 8 years. I kind of thought the game would be complete by now, but that being said, I'm just happy that they did release something. I kind of like the idea of going for the Sturgeons so they get less speed penalty from the snow, and maybe we'll just do a snow campaign where we just go for only territories in the snow. In the character creation, we can change the height to, we're gonna go dwarf, and we were born into a family of Boyar's companions, which gives us more bonuses to two-hander and a little bit of bonuses to riding as well. Early childhood, apparently this is us in the early childhood, which actually that'd be fun to play as like a little kid. We could go around just slaying people. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case here. Somebody please make a mod for that though. And as a child, we were noted for our brawn, which gives more bonuses to two-hander and one bonus to throwing as well. Like all village children, you helped in the fields. You also worked in the village smithy for more bonuses to two-hander. As a youngster, we can't actually improve two-handed anymore, but train with the Hearthguard gives us a bonus to endurance, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like, the ability to perform taxing physical activity for a long time. And this gives us a bonus to riding, as well as it gives us one bonus to polearm, which I really want to focus on only using like a two-handed axe, so it's kind of a wasted point, but the other options feel like they waste more points, and I feel like it's going to be good to have some riding skill. Before we set out for a life of adventure, our biggest achievement was defeating an enemy in battle, and that gives us a bonus to two-handed, and our vigor is up to 5 now. Vigor represents the ability to move with speed and force. It's important for melee combat. I'm guessing that's just like how much damage we do and stuff. Your parents were slain, your 2 youngest siblings seized, but you and your brother survived because you rode off on a fast horse. Gives us a bonus to riding again, 1 to endurance, and a bonus to scouting, which doesn't seem too bad. You can follow tracks, spot movement in the undergrowth, and spot an enemy from across the valley from a flash of light on spear points or a dust cloud. That seems pretty nice. So I guess we'll be able to see people easier on the map. And yeah, we are a dwarf named Durin from the Norse mythology. Determine the game difficulty. Let's just do everything on hardest, I guess. Realistic seems like it's the hardest. And can heroes die on the battlefield? In Warband, companions could not die, they would only get knocked out, which I feel like was a cool feature, as you could build up companions over time, you could build up their stats and stuff, and you could eventually rely on them to be like your #1 fighters. But if they can die, or like if I can die in battle, maybe that's game over if you just die. Maybe this like for a hardcore playthrough. I feel like for our first playthrough though, I don't know if we should enable death. Yeah, we're not gonna enable death. Maybe for like a hardcore playthrough later on I would, but for the sake of learning the game, no, we're not gonna be able to die. Brother, it's been 3 days now and we've been tracking those bastards. I think we're getting close. We need to think about what happens when we catch them. How are we going to rescue Fodor and Olishka? Are we up for the fight? This looks like an old training field for the legions. Perhaps we can spare some time and brush off our skills. The practice could come up useful when we catch up with the raiders. I'm going to run the course. I need to know if I can fight if I have to. Continue tutorial. Yeah, I might as well. On second thought, no training. We're just going to leave the training field. Before we do anything else, we're low on food. There's a village north of here where we can buy provisions and find some help. You're a better rider than I am, so I'll let you lead the way. Alrighty, and whoa, we're going fast. Alright, so we're at the village of Tivia, and now we're gonna take a walk around. We're here, I guess, so we need food, and after that, maybe some men to come with us. The headman here can probably help us. Let's try to find him. And there we go, we found him. Headman Patrice. I am Patrice, headman of this village. What brings you here? We need help. Some raiders have taken our younger brother and sister captive. We think they may have passed this way. They got your people too? Sorry to hear that. Those bastards have done a bit of killing and looting in these parts as well. They really like the word bastards. It's the second time I've heard that. Maybe that's like a really big insult in Calradia. We think they've gone north. I reckon there are a few folk around here who will join you in going after them if you'll pay for their gear. Once you made preparations, come and talk to me again. I may have a task for you if you're going after the raiders. We can recruit 6 headman's troops. Let's just recruit all of them, and that cost us 300 gold, and they have a wage of 8. But we start with 1,000 gold, so we're fine with that. And they now want us to buy some food, so we'll do that as well. Glad to see you found what you needed. Now about that matter I mentioned earlier. There's this wandering doctor who comes through here from time to time. Name of Tactios. Treats people for free. We're fond of him. Well, we last saw him a few days ago. He was carrying some sort of chest, which he was very mysterious about. He was on some sort of quest, he said, though he wouldn't tell us more. He set off on the road just a few hours before the raiders come through here. Well, he's not really a worldly type, just the kind of fellow who'd stumble into a trap and let himself be captured. We're worried about him. If you can keep an eye out for him, this Tactios, we'd be very grateful. Maybe if he's alive and well, he'll tell you a little bit more about his quest. Alrighty, so we now have a quest to take out these raiders. There's 3 groups of them around this village. Alrighty, so these raiders seem pretty weak. They're throwing rocks, and our dudes have horses and stuff. I don't foresee us losing these guys. And I am using a one-hander, by the way. Let's try to get some spear action going on. There we go. It says where you hit on their body too. That's kind of cool. But yeah, these raiders are not looking like they're gonna stand much of a chance. You kind of want to get a two-hander. Like, I don't really care about leveling up my one-hander skill or like my polearm skill. I feel like I just want to go for two-hander. All right, so we won and we got some loot. This rugged Gambison actually seems a little bit better than what we're using. And yeah, that was very easy. Now we're gonna run down these raiders. Yeah, here's another group of raiders, and they look to be pretty much the same strength as the other raiders. From this one, we got 4 prisoners. Let's take all these guys and we can sell them off, I'm guessing. And again, we got some gear. None of it seems like an upgrade. And we'll chase these guys down now. I will say, like, the death animations look pretty clean. There seems to be quite a variety of them and a lot of attention to detail. All right, we got 3 more raiders prisoner. And we got some more gear. This time we got a knobbed club as well. And this thing actually does blunt damage. I'm guessing we can use it to take prisoners with if we knock people out with it. It does less damage and has less length. But if we can take more prisoners, then we can sell off those prisoners. So yeah, let's try using that club for now. This armor is actually better than what we're using, so we'll use the cheap paddings. You rescue several prisoners that the raiders have been dragging along. They look parched and exhausted. You give them a bit of water and bread, and after a short while, one of them staggers to his feet and comes over to you. Tactios, I don't know who you are, but I'm in your debt. These brigands would have marched us to our deaths. My name's Tactios. I'm a doctor by trade. I was on, well, a bit of a quest, but now I'm thinking I'm not really made for this kind of thing. I was with a caravan and they just came out of the brush. We were surrounded and outnumbered, so we gave up. I figured they'd keep us alive, if just for the ransom. But then they started flogging us along at top speed without any water, and I was just about ready to drop. I could feel the signs of heat stroke creeping up, and I told them, but they just flogged me more. We're looking for 2 children captured by the raiders. Can you tell us anything? I'm afraid I haven't seen any children, but after our caravan was attacked, the chief of the raiders, the one they call Radigos, took and rode off with our more valuable belongings, including a chest that I had. He seemed to be controlling more than one band raiding around this area. If this lot has your kin, then I think he'd be the one to know. And since I have nothing left of value to repay your help, I'll tell you this. If you do catch up and defeat that ruffian, you may be able to recover my chest. It contains a valuable ornament which I was told could be of great value. I was trying to find out more about it, but as I say, I've had all my urge for traveling flogged out of me. Right now, I don't think I'd venture more than 20 paces from a well as long as I live. It doesn't look like much, and I suspect this lot would give it away for a few coins, but I got it from a mercenary who I treated once and swore it was related to Neritsis Folly. I don't know what that means, except that Neritsis was of course the emperor who died in battles some years back. Maybe you can find out its true value. Thanks for saving me again. I hope our paths will cross again. Alrighty, so we got Radigos's hideout over here with 15 units, and we only have 8. Our units seem pretty strong though, and these are just mounted bandits, so I think we should be able to take them. Unfortunately, because it is a hideout, we actually cannot use our horses though. So that does give us quite a disadvantage. Or mainly we just don't have the advantage that we had earlier where we can just ride around them and outmaneuver the enemy. Since this is a hideout though, it looks like we're taking them all out one by one and we're kind of surprising them. Like, this guy's sitting. Oh, and here we go. This looks like their boss. So, who is this that comes through my place of business, killing my employees? We've heard you took our little brother and sister. Where are they? Good heaven, I'll need a better description than that. My men have harvested dozens of little brats in the region. Quite good hunting grounds. Already sent most of them south to the slave market, I know though. Since your hunt for your kin is fruitless, how about you clear off and save your own lives? Either that or I force you to lick up all the blood you've spilled here with your tongues. Or, you and I could settle this one-on-one. Very well, I'll duel you. Okay, here we go. And, oh man, 53 damage from Radigos. We have a shield though, he has no shield, so that's an advantage, but he could break the shield. And we're not that good at one-handers too, by the way. Oh man, one more hit and I'm down. 27 damage delivered, that's pretty good. Oh, and I'm knocked down. That's not good. If I'm gonna be honest, I was not expecting Radigos to be that strong, but we're gonna head over to Lycaron and we're gonna buy a two-hander. Never mind, we're not gonna do that. Nozon's gonna take us back to the hideout where we are gonna have to fight Radigos with a one-hander, even though we're spec'd into two-hander. All right, you know what, Radigos? We're gonna do this again, and this time I'm gonna absolutely destroy you. 39 damage. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna get hit once. 25 damage. And we knocked him out without even getting hit. Let's go. How do you guys feel about that? I just destroyed your leader first try. Easy. Well, I recognize defeat when I see it. If I'm going to be your captive, let me introduce myself. I'm Radigos. You haven't cut my throat yet, which was a wise move. I'm sure I can find a way to be more worth to you alive than dead. You'd better help us get our brother and sister back, or you'll swing from a tree. Okay, you'll need my help alright. If you want to get them back, alive that is. See, my boys have some pretty specific instructions about what to do if there's a rescue attempt. Shall we get on the road? Remember, if I drop dead of exhaustion or drown in some river, that's it for your little dears. I don't expect a closey palanquin, which is apparently like when a king or an emperor is sitting sitting in a box and people are carrying it around now, but you'd best not make it too hard a trip for me. Alright, so we picked up 10 more Radagos as raiders as prisoner, and we came across a chest with an old piece of bronze on it. It's so battered and corroded that it could have been anything from a cup to a crown. This must be the chest Tactios mentioned to you that had something to do with Neritza's folly. I was hoping to find more treasure here, but I think business wasn't going too well for Radagos and his gang. I found this strange looking metal piece though. It doesn't look too valuable, but it could be the artifact Tactios was talking about. Maybe we can sell it to one of our noble clans for a hefty price. Alright then, let's get on the road. I have a better idea. We would have a better chance if we split up now. I'll take Radagos and go find the slaver market and look for a way to free the children. However, we must be careful not to endanger their lives, and it could be better just to buy them. We need to have our purses full for that though. I'll need to take these men with us. Radagos is a slippery one. I don't want him getting away. So you want me to raise money to ransom the little ones? Indeed. You'll have to find a way to do that. Maybe this bronze thing can help. Tactios said it could be worth a fortune to the right person if you manage not to get killed. If he's telling the truth, you must be careful. Never reveal you have it, but try to understand its value and how it can be sold. One more thing, when you're talking to nobles and other people of importance, make sure you present yourself as someone from a distant but distinguished family. We have to choose a family name, which is basically like a last name. Basically how last names work is it's named after the father. In this case, the father of Durin the dwarf is going to be Najal the giant, which is what Najal means, and we're just going to add a son after it, and I believe that's a proper family name for, I guess, a Viking. And basically Durin just got the short end of the stick, you could say. Our banner is going to be this bear, because bears usually live in colder climates, especially if they're polar bears, which, yeah, this is a polar bear. Get on the road now. Once I locate the little ones, I'll come find you. Alright, the tutorial is over. We are now free to explore Calradia. Alright, so we got a few quests. We got to get 1,000 dinars. We got to grow our party to 20 men, reach clan tier 1, and hire 1 companion. Companions are the guys who I was talking about earlier, who, if this is like Warband, they can't die in battle, and we can level them up and stuff. Speaking of level ups, we're now level 3, and we have 3 skill points. I think we're going to invest all of it into two-handers, though. Let's do another focus point into two-handers, and that increased our learning rate up to 12 times. It was 10 times before, and do we want extra damage or extra HP? Let's go for the extra damage. We have 2 focus points we can spend, and I think I like the idea of putting them into leadership. This is going to increase how fast we learn leadership, and there's a lot of really good stuff in the leadership tree. Like, for example, we can lower the wage cost for our higher tier troops, and we should have a lot of troops later on, so that should be pretty good. These talents are unlocked after you get a certain amount of XP in each thing. Like, for example, we got 35 in writing, so we can now do vigorous, which gives more HP to our horse. There's no other option for the first tier there, but in one-handed, which, yeah, unfortunately we have had to use one-handers so far, we can increase damage with one-handers by 4%, which we don't want because we're not going to use one-handers, at least not once we get a two-hander, but we can also increase HP by 3. We'll do that instead. And speaking of two-handers, we're going to head over to Lycaron, and hopefully we can grab a two-hander from these guys. They do have this simple Sparth axe, which is a two-handed axe, and it only costs 112. I think we'll pick that up, and we'll be using that to slay in the next episode. This was just kind of an episode to get the tutorial out of the way. In the next one, we can do pretty much whatever we want, and I think after we complete the main quest, we'll head over to the snow, and we'll begin raising our army as well as grinding up our two-handed skill. With that, I want to thank you all for watching. Expect the next episode pretty soon, and I will see you then.